First of all, congratulations on You Are Here. It's such a fantastic watch. It's a nice little short, but it leaves you thinking. Why did you guys decide to take on this topic?
I had the very real experience of that our main character had where I was reading an article about the size of the universe randomly one day and kind of had the felt like the floor was falling out from under me, like just all of a sudden actually contemplating the size of things. And I wrote the short pretty quickly after I had that experience, and um we were kind of digging around trying to find something to do. I kind of had written a bunch of shorts, and we dug this one up, and it seemed like kind of the right time to do it, and it just resonated with a lot of people when I like sent it to people. You could kind of tell like everybody kind of got it quickly, and that's usually a good sign. So it felt like a fun way to tackle kind of a heavy topic.
Definitely. Yeah, I think it definitely resonated with me because I think we all go through that existential crisis of why are we here, or what kind of impact are we doing? For your main character, they embodied this so well. What kind of discussions did you have with him in order to bring this portrayal out of him?
Yeah, Lehi was amazing. We got so lucky that we found him. He because I had originally kind of written that role for somebody a little older and a little more sort of like sad businessman. And then I saw Lehi and I was like, oh, he I actually we didn't talk about it a ton because it was really like I felt like his sort of um general vibe kind of worked already for it. And he, has this kind of like innocence to him that I think played really well. And he's such a physical, like funny actor that I just talked to him about like I'm like don't you don't have to like really ham it up, like really just try to like have that experience, and that experience will be funny, as it sort of reads on your face. And he really like yeah took it to the next level, um and had a lot of fun with it. So
What kind of obstacles did you face bringing this to life? Because I'm not sure how Hollywood would have accepted a premise like this.
yeah, that's kind of like a fun thing that Bennett and I have going here. Bennett's our cinematographer, and like we don't live in Hollywood, like we live in Salt Lake City, Utah, and both of us work like he's the commercial cinematographer, and he's also shot like a feature and a bunch of shorts, but and I work in commercial work as well. I'm a commercial still photographer and director, and so we kind of like have the luxury of just being like, yeah, fuck it, like we're gonna go make our thing. And I always like to kind of subvert things like that because it just I don't know. It's the only thing I can write. Like I've tried to write more sort of mainstream things and it just like doesn't work. Like I have weird ideas, and so I think obstacle wise, the biggest obstacles, it's like it's so hard to make a passion project in general just because you don't have the money you really need, so you're calling in favors. And we really fought weather a lot because we shot in a place called Little Sahara in like central Utah. That is a large sand dune area. It's like a state park, and it's an incredible location, but it's actually really high elevation wise. And the year we shot, Utah had like the snowiest winter on record ever,
Wow.
like since they've been reporting snow, and it kept snowing out there like later and later. We'd be like, okay, maybe next week, because it was about a 2 hour drive from uh Salt Lake City. So, it's like, and it's really remote. So it's not like you can just like check the weather out there. It's like, all right, if we're gonna drive out there, we need to know there's not gonna be snow or wind. Because wind is also a big issue. A lot of car commercials and stuff shoot out there, and it's really hard to shoot if it's windy because there's just sand blowing. And we scouted it, and it was like 50-mile-an-hour winds. You couldn't even open your eyes outside. We had to put on
Yeah.
ski goggles. And then the day we got out there to shoot, we just got super lucky, and it was like calm, and it wasn't hot. It was like 50 degrees. Like it was like we really got super lucky because it could have gone either
Mhm.
way for sure.
Yeah, I feel like with where we are in the community in Salt Lake, we're just so blessed to have people around us, to have locations, to have, people who are willing to donate their time and equipment. And really just, the stars aligned and people came together and wanted to support us in this project, not only because, we're all close collaborators, but because it was really an amazing script.
Definitely. And so one of the beautiful parts of this is the cinematography. You have such an amazing atmosphere that you captured these grand shots, but yet they seem so intimate. What were you looking for when setting up the shots?
Yeah, I think we really wanted to take this approach of, making him kind of feel as though he was in this, claustrophobic kind of space. Like he's limited by like his surroundings, by, his ability to even, imagine what's kind of outside this little existence of his. And then he kind of has this, big epiphany, and we get out into the landscapes, and we're shooting a lot of things, wider with a lot of headroom now that he's really kind of taken on this, this higher knowledge of his place in the universe. So, starting with kind of this more boxed in, finding like frames within frames and pinching in between door frames and stuff, using really shallow depth of field to kind of create that, that his world kind of exists just, within this little space, and then all of a sudden we kind of blow it out and he gets outside and has this big realization.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's very beautifully shot. It has a nice pacing to it. What is it like now? I know after all the chaos, after all the struggles, you guys are here at Dances with Films. You guys get to see this on the big screen at the Hollywood iconic TCL Chinese Theater. How does that feel for you guys?
Yeah, we're super excited. We
Yeah.
got lucky like yesterday. Bennett got to QC the film with the projectionist. Like
Mhm.
that's also a luxury you don't have at most festivals or anything. Like they went and made sure the audio was mixed right, and it was just it's pretty amazing. It's been just seeing films on those screens already. Everything's looked amazing, and the community everybody, it's funny because when we got in everybody talked up like, oh, Dances with Films is such a great festival, the community is amazing, and it really has been like it's just been pretty amazing. Like we've met so many other cool uh you know filmmakers and producers and people doing super cool weird indie things as well, and so it's really exciting, and just to see it on a screen of that quality is going to be pretty amazing because we haven't seen it. We've seen it on a couple screens, but not like this. So we're pretty excited.
Yeah, this for sure to me feels like, that next level festival that we've kind of been wanting to be a part of for a while now. I mean, just, between the interactions with the other filmmakers and seeing their films and how amazing all their movies are, the panels, and just talking to, another filmmaker yesterday, he's just saying, we feel so like taken care of here. And so when it comes to something like, hey, we just want to quickly like QC the film to make sure it's going to be right for everybody, they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. You guys like, let's get in there and make sure that it's how you want it to be presented.
Definitely. There's so many high quality films at Dances with Films. What kind of reactions are you looking for when you screen your film?
I mean, it's a comedy, so we definitely want to get laughs. It always feels good to hear people sort of reacting, but um, it is like I think we want to make people think a little bit about their place in the universe, and it's kind of like I mean, it's a bit of a circular story. Like we kind of end up back where we started, but just with a little bit of perspective, like a little bit, more perspective now. And that those are the kind of stories I like. Like I don't like these like, oh, I changed my life all of a sudden overnight because of one thing, because nobody really does that. But it's like, how do we live with this information that we gather, as we live, when we have these moments of like existential dread or panic or, kind of new perspectives. How do we go forward in our regular lives with that type of information? So, that's kind of what we want people to like think about. But really, it's a comedy. We want people to enjoy it and get laughs. Like, and so far when we've seen it with people, it has, and that always feels good to like hear real life people, laughing at something. So
Yeah, just to, create some, thought-provoking conversations. I feel like you know, as filmmakers, we are always questioning, like, where are we at? Like, what stage of the journey are we in? And, yesterday, listening to one of the cocktails and conversations, one of the writers was talking about, just enjoy where you are, and so, maybe you have that existential crisis, but you need to come back around and look at like what you have, what you've achieved, where you are, and, enjoy that, enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on this film. Even though it is a very personal project for you, it definitely feels universal to all of us. We've all gone through this. So thank you very much for your time and congratulations on this once again.
Yeah, thank you for
Awesome.
having us.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thanks, Jesus.